Right then guys, welcome to yet another video from the woods. I've managed to find time to spend the afternoon up in the woods today, and as a consequence I'm knocking together a few videos, so the location will be very similar, the content somewhat similar but different enough, I hope. So today I'm going to have a play with my Evernew Titanium DX stove. I've had this a lot of years and it's done a lot of service with me, but the one thing I've never used it as, and you can use it as, is a wood burner. I've always used it with a Trangia burner or even the Evernew alcohol burner, which is a lot more powerful than the Trangia burners, but I've never used it as a wood stove. So I thought today we'd have a little play and we'll see how effective it is as a wood stove, and we'll bring a cup of water to the boil. So I'll move the camera to a position where you can see what I'm doing, and we'll see how good this works as a wood stove, shall we? Right then folks, so this is how your stove would come. It's easy to set up. Basically you just split it in half, reverse the top section, pop it in, ensuring that you've got your base plate in the bottom. That's what's going to hold your embers. I have got it on the heatproof mat that you get in the Solognac wood burner, just to protect the log underneath. So those of you who've seen my previous attempt at firelighting in the video before this one, well, no, it's not great. So we're going to cheat and we're going to use a wood wool. So we'll get that burning. I have picked a few twigs ready and we'll just get them in there. Just let them catch before we smother it. The twigs do have to be quite small to fit in this stove. It's not the biggest wood burning stove you will ever see. And as you can see, there is an opening at the front here where you are supposedly able to feed twigs in. But I find that once you've got a bed of coals or whatever, or it looks as though to me, once you've got a bed of coals or whatever in there, you can't actually get anything in there. So I suspect this is going to be a top loading wood stove, which is not ideal if I'm honest. So we've got some flames going, so we'll add a few more bits. Got some finer bits down here on this lid. We'll just chuck in there, help it along. So there we go, we've got some flames. Seems to be quite well alight, so let's see what happens when the old cook goes on the top. Seems to have quelled the flames somewhat. Let's see if they burst back to life when you take the cup off. Not really. So I don't think the cup is doing too bad a job. It doesn't smother the flames too much. Looking at that though, you will want to have quite a well established fire in there before you start using it to cook on. I've no doubt with enough time and patience though, you will get a cup of water to boil, but it's not going to be one of those stoves what you can just put your cup on and walk away and come back and it'll be boiled. I don't think. I think there's going to be a lot of tending this while it's doing it. There you go. As soon as the cup's off, we're getting a lot more flames. So the cup does cut down on air circulation, which impedes the burning. But it's to be expected. It's not the biggest stove in the world. So we'll give that a minute or two, see what happens, and I'll catch up at the end, folks. Well, I figure it's about time for a little update on how this burning the Evernew titanium DX stove is going, and it's not great, if I'm honest with you. The minute you put the cup on, it tends to smother the flames. Would this make an everyday use wood burner? In my limited experience, no. What I have found is you can only use sticks that are thinner than your little finger, and they have to be absolutely bone dry just to prevent it from literally going out. You're constantly feeding those because those burn very quickly, and it takes a lot of tending. So we've been going at this now about 10 minutes and still not managed to get a cup of water to boil. I'll see you when we do eventually get a boil going. Hopefully it won't be too much longer. The flames are starting to look a little bit better now. Now we're getting a good bed of coals in the bottom. Catch you in a bit, folks. Right then, folks, we've hit a rolling boil. I've basically stopped timing it. We're somewhere between 15 and 20 minutes to get it to boil, and that's 15 to 20 minutes of constantly feeding wood and blowing on it to keep it going. So I'll tidy all this lot away and we'll have a little roundup, and I'll give you my view on this. Right then, guys, just a bit of an update. As I was tidying away, obviously I'd got this sat on top of a log on top of a heat-proof mat, and as you can see, it transfers a hell of a lot of heat to the ground. This would not be safe to use on the ground. You can see that log smouldering away there, and you can see the burn mark it's done on it. Okay, right then, folks, what do I think of the Evernew DX titanium as a wood burner? No, it's the sort of thing you could use in an emergency, but as an everyday wood stove, definitely no use, as far as I can see anyway. I've got limited experience with wood stoves, as I openly admit, but I could not get that to get a good sustainable burn where you weren't constantly working on it to keep it going. As I've just shown you as well, it actually generates a lot of heat out the bottom with the grill being so far down. It's burnt this stump, but I must say it's the first time I've sat on a log with a heated seat function. It's really quite pleasant. Would I ever use it again as a wood burner? No. As a compact transier stove, it is absolutely ideal. As I've said, I've used this a lot. It's done a lot of service with me, and I've always been very impressed with it as its main purpose as a transier stove. As a wood burner, no. I would pick the Solognac that I've done other videos on over this every time. That one, you light a fire in it, you do what you need to do. So for this one, you are constantly tending to it. The sticks you have to put on can be no thicker than your little finger, and they have to be bone dry. Otherwise the fire just, with the cup on top, the fire just dies down and you end up with loads of smoke, no flames, and very little heat. Once you do get a bed of embers going, those embers are falling through the grill on the bottom and just sitting on the ground, or in my case on top of the heatproof mat. Yeah, and there's not a lot else to say about it. It's just no good as a wood burning stove. If you were the prepper type and you wanted the comfort of a backup fuel source, yeah, you could use it. I would definitely make sure you got it on a rock or something that non-flammable when you were doing it. But yeah, you could use it, but it's not going to be a pleasant experience. Anyway, guys, sorry to be so negative about that. It's just my experience as I see it. Hope this video has been of some use to you guys out there who are thinking of purchasing one of these or own one and have never tried the wood stove function on it. If it has, I would appreciate a like and or subscribe. And as I've been doing today, remember guys, keep on dabbling. I'll see you on the next one.